upon hearing the flattery, sneered in satisfaction and started to flaunt. He slapped the ball in high into the air, bent over, then picked it up on his back. Single stood there, visibly amazed at what was being demonstrated. The ball made its slow journey down the back of Dong Tre's head and onto his shoulders, balancing easily there when Dong Tre smiled and strode forward towards the first years. He resembled a circus artist performing his tricks. Maru, astonished at what he was seeing, was just able to stand and watch as Dong Tre confidently announced, "Do you think I can keep it up for all 3 laps?" Single grew more and more frustrated, not anticipating Dong Tra to possess such a trick up his sleeve. In the meantime, Maru was compelled back to the starting point and start over, as Dong Tre easily led half a lap behind. Well ahead, suddenly, a fierce gust of wind swept across the field. Juna held up her hand, the rain and wind picking up intensity. A fierce gust blew across the field and deflected the ball on Ronk's head, taken aback. The ball deflected off his head, but he didn't lose control. With a sharp shrug of his shoulder, he jiggled the ball back up and used his knee to juggle it. Dong Tre, warily now, used a light tap of his feet to nudge the ball forward, making small, careful steps to retain possession. He glanced over his shoulder to observe Maru's position, seeing that the distance between them had not shifted. Smiling, he parroted, "Foolish. If you just keep going at that rate, you'll just keep chewing my dust." By this time, the rain was coming down harder, and the deteriorating weather made Dong Tre lose control. Temporarily. He almost dropped the ball, but was able to catch himself up just in time, preventing a catastrophe. Dong Tre exhaled a sigh of relief as the ball stayed at his feet. But the weather just kept on deteriorating. Looking at this one, start breaking down the situation in football. You have only one time to shoot. You have one chance to pass your defender and one chance to make a mistake, win or lose. Everything depends on how you handle the ball during those critical moments. He went on to say, in other words, you simply have to ensure that the ball travels precisely the way you intend it to. That's what you would describe as basic technique. Without that basic skill, even the slightest variable can conveniently knock you down in failure. A single mused over Dong Tre's flashy ball tricks. He reasoned it's all show. His talent is a surface-level performance to conceal his lack of fundamentals, regardless of how much everyone else is in awe of his tricks. In the end, he's tricking himself. Sure, fundamentals are strong when nothing can unsettle you. At that time, Maru had bridged the gap. Now right behind Dong Tre, Single continued thinking. Basics are the foundation of a person's abilities, and they can have a significant influence on the entire team. What you have to do is put 100% effort. That's called mindset, the type of thinking that will make you stand up and run after the ball, regardless of the odds. That mindset is the beginning of every great action. Haza High requires that type of mindset at the moment. Angry. Dong Tre cursed, "Damn it. This cannot be happening. It cannot be like this. What does it even matter? All I have to do is put the ball into the goal." He turned to Single angrily, shouting, "You bastard. I was simply trying to be a nuisance to that kid. But since the beginning, this is all your fault." Angered and humiliated, Dong Tre swung his fist at Single without hesitation. He charged towards him, delivering a punch directly on Single's mouth. The younger players quickly stepped in to drag Dong Tre away. Enraged and losing temper, Dong Tre yelled, "Let go of me. All this doesn't mean anything to me anymore. Are you attempting to show that you're superior at soccer than me?" "I wasn't even attempting at this point from the start," Alone slowly walked over and addressed. "Do you seriously think you can triumph in an actual soccer game? Do you wish to attempt?" The crowd of onlookers began to get concerned because things had gotten too out of hand. But there was one individual who didn't appear to have any interest whatsoever in what was going on the field. Sunho, he strolled over and asked her a totally unrelated question. "Are you the team manager, and are you the girl that the old spud had confessed to before he got halfway?" Juna put her hand over his mouth, telling him, "Hush. This is not the time to speak of it." While the schedule for the match was being mentioned, it would be a 7-on-7 match and both teams could pick their members, and would be played at the weekend. The losing team would have to quit the team permanently. Hearing this, Dong Tre fumed. Red with rage in his face. His spectacled friend went up to him alone and asked, "Isn't this a bit too harsh?" But before he could complete, Dong Tre agreed to the proposal, leaving his friends stunned. Dong Tre explained, "If we both remain on this team, we will not be able to train or work together. It is better that one of us quits. There is little time left until the national soccer tournament, so let us finalize everything here and now. As for you, I don't have the luxury of playing any team I wish. I have no time for this." Rain outside became heavier as Dong Tre turned away. Single called out, "Wait, you still lost to Kong Maru. Accept it.